I know what's on your mind.
Okay, welcome Brabham football players and parents. This video is to give you a board write-up of the base defense that we're going to be running. We're going to talk about strength calls. We're going to talk about threats to that defense and how we're going to deal with those threats. We're going to talk about how do you line up in whatever position that you're going to be in on defense. And why you line up there, but we're also going to talk about how to make adjustments in it while making it as simple as possible. And the way to make the defense as simple as possible is to have a free-flowing read and react style of defense, which means that there shouldn't be two people in one spot at any time. There are certain holes, as you can see on the field, and there should be a guy fitting in the hole like a puzzle piece. Therefore, there should be no place for the quarterback to run, running back to run, receiver to catch the ball if we are in our proper spot. Now, that's in a perfect world. We know that doesn't happen all the time, so that's why we have to read and react and rally to the ball wherever there's a slight mess up, and we do it collectively as an 11-man team on defense. So first things first, we want to talk about what's written here in red. As you can see, these are the numbers as far as how the defensive front, which is going to be 6 people in the 4-2-5 defense that we run. That's going to consist of a jack, which is a stand-up defensive end that's in a 2-point stance. The nose tackle, that's going to be in a 1. The defensive tackle is going to be in a 3. The strong side defensive end, which is going to be in a 6. By the way, this jack, I'm sorry, is going to be in a 6, standing up in a 2-point stand. This strong side defensive end will be down in a 3-point stance, sometimes in a tilt. But we always want to line him up outside of the tackle. This defensive end jack outside of the tackle, because a lot of junior high teams want to try to beat you to the corners with their running backs and with their quarterbacks doing read options. So if we line up outside, then we are already in position by alignment to stop them. All we have to do is play with our outside arm free. Nose tackle is going to be lined up in a 1, which means he can be a 2-gap player. Sometimes we'll put him in a 0 where he can play this gap or he can play this gap and dominate that center. But typically he's going to be in a 1, you see right here, and the defensive tackle is going to be in a 3. Okay, as you can see, 3 is in between the guard and the tackle. Middle linebacker is going to be a 4, right? And then the weak side linebacker, WLB, is going to be in a 3. Okay, so you can see it goes from each side: 0, 1, 2, head up, 3, head up, 4, 5, go 6. 1, head up, 2, 3, head up, 4, 5, go 6. Okay. So we say go 6 because there's nobody out there, but we're playing like it's someone out there, which is a ghost. It's an invisible person, but we're stacked up on him as if it was a tight end or something out there. Okay, so this is just for the front 6. All right. What are strengths calls? Strength calls are the way we line up our defense to match up with the offense's biggest threats. So the first thing that we call our threats to will be to the receivers, multiple receiver side. Let's say if we have 3 receivers on this side. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so if we have 3 receivers on this side of the formation, and only 1 receiver on this side, then the Mike linebacker, he calls the strength for the front 6. for the linebackers and the defensive line. He's going to call right. Okay? Okay, so if he calls right, then that means that that's why I circled them, the middle linebacker, the defensive tackle, and the strong side defensive end will come on this side together as a group. And the nose tackle, the jack defensive end, and the Willie linebacker, they're going to come on to the left side. So what happens if this group of three is on this side and this one receiver is on this side? The Mike linebacker is going to call left. If he calls left, this D tackle is going to switch places with this nose tackle and come to a 3 on this side. This nose tackle is going to switch to a 1 on this side. This strong side defensive end is going to switch with this jack, and he's going to come over here to a 6, and he's going to come over here to a 6. This Mike linebacker is going to switch with this weak side linebacker and come over here. And then this Willie linebacker is going to come over here to a 3, while this Mike linebacker is in a 4 over here. So they just change places based on the biggest threat. Okay? So what happens if you say, Coach, well, they have equal receivers. You have 2 receivers here, you have a tailback and a quarterback. Okay? If you have a tailback and you have a quarterback that's back there and you have equal and they're in the middle of the field, then always call it to the quarterback's arm. The Mike linebacker is the only one who's going to call this strength call for this front. So he has to be a very smart player. Okay, he has to see we have 2 receivers on both sides, but we have the quarterback here and we have a tailback. We're going to call, the quarterback is right-handed, so we're going to call it to the quarterback's arm because that's the easiest side for him to throw to. So if it's even, he's going to call it left because the quarterback is right arm. So he's going to be facing this direction towards the camera. So he's going to call it over here. He's going to say left. This whole group, defensive tackle, strong defensive end, and Mike linebacker are going to come over here. Jack, nose tackle, and Willie linebacker are going to come over on this side and line up with their number. 6, 3, 1. And this side over here is going to come over and line up 3, 4, 6. And we're set to go. And now all we have to do is just add in the secondary. Okay? So we want you guys to really take notes on that and to really understand that we're going to call our strengths up front to the most receiver side, or if it's even, we're going to call it to the quarterback's arm. Also, now if this running back, let's say it comes out to the side right here, we're going to treat that as there's 3 receivers on this side. Okay, you got 2 over here. You got this running back that just stepped out right here to this side. So now you have 1, 2, 3. So we will call what? Right. Okay, to that running back. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. So just play with that. If this running back comes over here to this left side, right, then we're going to call 1, 2, 3. That's most receivers. Left. Okay, so these 3 will come over here. These 3 will go over here. All right. Sometimes we will line up our nose tackle and our D tackle in what we call a 22. So that means this nose tackle is going to slide to a 2, which is head up on this guard. And this defensive tackle is going to move from a 3 to a 2, which is head up on this guard. Okay. Just to give a different look. Okay, so that's what we have for the front 6. Now to add in the secondary, on the strength side, the free safety also follows the most receiver side. Okay, so let's just say, well, no, let's keep it. Free safety is going to call it to the most receiver side. So we have more DBs on the side to match up with all the receivers. So I'm going to circle this on the strength side. So you have a free safety who's going to be 11 by 1, but for junior high purposes, we'll probably move him up to 10 or 9, right? Because you don't have any John Elways in junior high. So we'll move him up so that he can help more in the run. So Free safety will be right here on this strength side with the receivers. So he'll be there, and then we'll have our strong safety also out here. Okay, so now we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a cornerback. 5. We'll have 5 people on this strength side, okay, to take on 3. Okay, on this back side over here, we'll have our cat safety. Okay, let's call it cat. Okay, with that cat safety is going to line up at roughly 9 or 10 where we'll play with by 1 yard inside of the innermost receiver. Okay, so we're playing the inside with the intentions of breaking outside. So we're just saying, okay, if you want to throw this post, we're already saying we got 1 step on you right here, 1 step inside. All right, so you have the cat safety and you'll have a cornerback out here. So now you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 to play against 2. And the reason why we say 4 is because this jack right here will take the place of the strong safety on this side, because this jack is going to play in a 2-point stance, which means that he could blitz, he could drop in coverage, he could fake like he's blitzing, he could drive the bubble route right here. He can help out a lot to help this Willie linebacker. Okay? So again, let's review. Strength calls. Strength calls are calls that we are saying that the offense is lined up and they're trying to do something. The biggest threat is going to come from a certain area. So we want to put our most people in that area. So who calls the strength call? The Mike linebacker calls it for the front 6 in our 4-2-5 defense, and the safety, free safety, calls it for the secondary. Okay, will there be times where the strength call for the front 6 is different than the strength call on the back end? Sometimes. Sometimes if they have a back that's really dominant, we might say, linebacker, you're going to call it to the back now. There might be an adjustment. That back is electric. You're going to call it to the back, so we put our best hitters, which is going to be our linebackers, call it to the back. But our secondary still calls it to the receivers. So there will be those things, but for right now, we're just going to call it to the multiple receiver side. Okay, if it's all even, we're going to call it to the quarterback's arm. Okay, any questions on that? You can DM in the inbox and ask questions, but I really need you guys to be studying what is the strength call, what are the threats, multiple receiver side, and how do we align. Study these numbers: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do I play defensive end? Do I play nose tackle if I'm a bigger boy? Or D tackle? Am I a linebacker? We also might use some safeties to play linebackers as well when we have a dominant passing team, so we can drop into coverage. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense to everybody, and we're going to move on to the next video, and we're going to talk about hand signals. Okay, thanks.